Привет! Сегодня в стартап-среде будет по-настоящему жарко. Ведь мы присутствуем на финском мероприятии, которое называется Startup Sauna. И проходит оно в Казани, в IT-парке. По словам организаторов этого мероприятия, в финском фольклоре сауна отождествляется с некоторым очищением мыслей, с созданием новых видений. И поэтому проекты, которые здесь представляются, помещаются в своего рода метафорическую сауну, где в процессе работы с экспертами пот, который выступает на теле этих проектов, очищает их от токсинов, от вредных веществ, которые мешают их развитию, и создает чистую, понятную идею, готовую к инвестированию. С нами Вилли Симолов, the captain of Startup Sauna. Hello, Вилли.
Hello.
Вилли, какова цель мероприятия Startup Sauna?
So today's aim was to, it was a warm-up Kazan, so which is part of the Startup Sauna program. Startup Sauna is a early stage seed accelerator program, and as a part of the selection process, we organize these warm-up events. And today in Kazan, the concept was that we mentored the teams and they pitched during the day. In the end of the day, we will choose one team to be invited to the actual Startup Sauna program hosted at Alta Venture Garage.
And what's the aim of Alta Venture Garage?
All right, so the aim is to breed more growth companies, high-tech growth companies, and the companies that are in early stage. So they have a prototype or a demo. They're still figuring out the right market entry, and they need to have international focus from the beginning.
А как вообще оцениваете уровень проектов, которые представлены здесь в Казани?
At first, I must say that I was really impressed. So there was 20 teams presenting here today. So mostly IT focused, but still some cases from life sciences, I think biotech as well. So in general, I mean, really impressed about the technology here. There's a lot of great talent. I think if we think about how we can help the teams, is that a lot of them are still figuring out the right business model or market entry. So that's kind of the part of the puzzle that we and our mentors can help the teams.
До какой стадии вы доводите проект и что потом с ним происходит?
As I told, we select one team from Kazan to join the program, and it's a really intense program. So we have a pool of 50 mentors, and they will be coaching the teams for the 6-week period, basically constantly. And what we want them to do also, we want them to go to the customers, to be active, collect feedback from their customers, and based on the feedback they get from customers and mentors to modify their business during the program. And our goal is that in the end, the companies have found the right focus and are ready to enter the market. So and we're trying to also attract as many venture capitalists as possible to get them seed investment after the program.
Какой диапазон сумм обычно получает проект от инвестора?
So typically the seed investment stage is somewhere between could be from 50,000 to, let's say, up to maybe 250,000.
А какую долю получает инвестор за эти деньги? Обычно, среднюю долю.
Yeah, we're not involved there, so it's negotiated by the company and the investor. But I would say typically in these seed investments, it's somewhere between 6 to 15%.
В каких отраслях сейчас имеет смысл делать проекты? То есть какие отрасли сейчас растут, где сейчас горячо, да, и во что нужно вкладывать?
Yeah, I mean, I would say mobile, gaming, they're interesting. From IT sector, of course, many SaaS services. It depends a lot, where we want to tap them into. If they're consumer products, then of course we can offer them a gateway to Silicon Valley. If they're B2B, we have a fairly good network of B2B coaches on our pool. So in general, I would say mobile gaming actually are pretty popular right now.
Есть у вас интересные примеры уже успешно реализованных проектов, которые вышли из мероприятия, из программы Startup Sauna?
Yes, so we started our first batch was last spring, And a few examples, there was a team called Campalist. Campalist is doing social media monitoring. They're actually tracking the return on investment on media and PR agencies using social media. After the program, they entered another program called Seed Camp, and with Seed Camp, they actually won an investment of 50,000. And I believe now they're building their seed investment package. You know, it's not disclosed yet, since there's negotiations. That's one example. Another one would be Ovelin. Ovelin is a company doing Guitar Hero for a real instrument. So basically, once you have your own acoustic guitar, with your iPad app, you can learn to play guitar with their game, and it's really cool. I mean, there's all the animal figures, and it's pretty much targeted for people who quit playing guitar because traditionally it's too boring. So maybe those are a few examples to mention.
А вообще уровень проектов в России насколько сильно отличается от уровня проектов где-то за рубежом?
Yeah, I would say the technology, there's much wider range of technologies in general. I would say that the kind of technology expertise is actually usually higher here than in Europe, for example. Then I think regarding like web and mobile technologies, the companies usually focus on inner market. So they think Russian market, or if they kind of say that their goal is international, still they kind of position themselves on the Russian market. So I would say those are kind of few pinpoints here learned from today, for example.
Каких знаний обычно не хватает предпринимателям в IT-сфере?
Yeah, I mean, I would say in general there's a lot of great tech teams, so they can build the product. What they could do better is to focus more on the user interface and the usability of the service. So that's one thing. And then the other thing I would say it's the kind of marketing part, or the customer acquisition. So too often many companies fail in the early stage of not being able to get the viral effect going.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. Спасибо.
Позвольте вам представить Юху Руханина, the head coach of Auto Venture Garage. Hello.
Hello.
Юха, с какими проблемами в основном приходится сталкиваться стартаперам?
I think the normal challenge is that there's two challenges. Number one is that they are not solving real life problems. That's the most typical challenge. So a typical startup starts from something that they can do, whatever that might be, and then they develop, based on their skills, they develop a solution which they can develop. And when they try to enter the market, there's no market, no one wants it, there's no need, there's no problem, so they can't make any money out of it. And if you do it like that, it's very, very slow, and you take a lot of hits, because you're forcing something in the market where there is no need. That's one thing. The other thing that you see, like here today, is that the startups don't understand their market. So they don't know who else is there, they don't know the competition, they don't know how they are better or worse than the competition, and they don't know what potential customers and partners there are in the market. Because in the modern market, especially if you look at it on a global scale, it's very hard to define that this is the competitor, this is the customer, this is the partner, because all these roles, they overlap. They get mixed in the real life. So these are the two things that they most typically need help with. And that's why we exist. We're trying to help them.
So you're trying to solve these problems?
Yes.
Okay. А в каких сферах сейчас имеет смысл создавать проекты? Какие сферы наиболее активно растут?
Social media, of course. Anything related to social media is hot everywhere. In Finland, we get so much social media related, some kind of startups, that's, I think, by far the most hot area. That said, it's very difficult to do from places like Finland and Russia. Well, it's actually easier from Russia because anything in social media requires users. And if you start from a small market like Finland or any other small country, you just can't get any users. And after all, the ideas are typically the kind of ideas that have been done in the Silicon Valley 2 years ago already. So what you see is you see a lot of Groupon clones, you see a lot of Facebook clones, you see a lot of Twitter clones, you see all kinds of clones, local clones in this specific market, which is okay, but they have no potential outside that market. I mean, look at VKontakte. Where's the potential outside Russia? No, nowhere, because they're exactly like Facebook, etc., etc. So, but I would say social media is by far the hardest currently, at least what I see.
А какими личными качествами, на ваш взгляд, должен обладать человек, который создает проекты в IT-сфере?
I mean, passion is the most important one. Passion and willing to accept failures and to learn. It's not a skill game. I mean, if you're a bit better programmer than someone else, it doesn't matter anything. The only thing that matters is that you have the passion and you accept failures and you can take the advices. Because a lot of the entrepreneurs are very stubborn. They think that they know what to do. And when you try to give them advice, they say, no, I know how to do this. And that's not good. So you have to be at the same time very sort of, how would you say, positively arrogant. The US have a word bully, if you know what it means. It means bully, that you have to be sort of outspoken and like the Americans are. But on the other hand, you have to be at the same time, you have to be very humble, to take the advice, to learn from mistakes and all that. I think those are the most important characteristics.
Какие обычно критерии предъявляют инвестиционные фонды при выборе проекта?
Yeah, well, it's very simple. There's this old saying that the venture capitalists invest into three things: team, and team.
It's team.
So it's people.
And technical knowledge, technical background.
It's people and their experience. I mean, the US VCs, what they do is they always have a matrix of areas they invest in, and then the maturity of market or cases. And when they have holes there that they don't have a case, what they in some cases even do is that they take a group of good guys which they know that have delivered previously. They say, well, here's $1 million for you, come up with a solution in the next 6 months. So the guys have no idea, they just get the money and start executing. It just shows that the people are the most important asset. So I would say that the people, of course the idea, the market must be big enough and all the criteria, but in the end of the day, it's up to the people.
А по вашему мнению, какие сферы будут популярны в будущем? Вот, например, через 3-4 года. Что будет расти, развиваться?
Well, these are very dangerous answers. But I think in the IT field, everything is going mobile, which means that everything will be stored in the cloud. So I think that anything related to cloud and mobile services and that space is very, very interesting. And of course that leads easily to data security, because if you store all the information in the cloud, I mean, then it gets hacked and all that. Outside of the IT, or in relation to IT, I think clean tech is still a boom, however you define it, but we just need more solutions for waste management and all those areas. I mean, recyclable power, and I mean there's still a lot to do. For example, battery technology, the major hurdle for electric cars is the batteries, because they still can't hold other than 100 kilometers. So who's going to buy a car that you can run 100 k's and that's it? Then you leave it to the street, or what do you do? So it's not yet there. So just an example.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. Good. All right. Thank you.